This is probably the world's worst e-reader, but maybe the most interesting MP3 player. After leaving Spotify a year and a half ago, I've been on a journey of using physical media such as CDs and ripping those CDs into MP3 files. Now, I've tried a multitude of different MP3 players, but I'm always on the hunt for something new and interesting. And recently, the past month, I've been using this device. This is a no-brand, probably dropship device that is available across multiple platforms such as AliExpress, but I stumbled on this beauty on Amazon France. Now, it's labeled as an e-reader, which is interesting because it is a terrible e-reader to be honest, but it is an E Ink MP3 player as well. This is why I ordered the device. The device description on Amazon was already a bit suspicious, so I had my doubts. For example, the contents of the box is no. When I received the device, the box that the device comes in also looks very generic and suspicious. And on the box, it also says it's compatible with Windows XP. That's good news for those of you who've left Windows 10 and maybe went all the way back to XP. But you don't have to worry about the compatibility because you can use an SD card and put your files on it no matter which platform or operating system that you're using. Now in the box, you'll get the device itself, which is a 2.7-inch E Ink display, a glass display, which was a pleasant surprise, and it's also made of a zinc alloy, which gives it a heavier feel. Now I paid 38 euros for this device, and I'm pretty sure you can get it for 10 euros in other places. But with that being said, it does feel pretty good for the price. It doesn't feel cheap at all. Even though it is not a branded item, that's fine. I'm not looking to promote any brand specifically. I'm just looking to use a device in the way that I need it, and specifically this device as an MP3 player. Now this device accepts up to 128 gigabytes, so I inserted a card with all of my music, and honestly, it plays music very well. It even has external speakers, so if you want to listen to the device without headphones, you can do that as well, or you can choose to use the audio jack and even Bluetooth headsets. So you have your options with this device. As far as the visibility, as somebody who's visually impaired, the interface is a bit of a clustered mess. You can't change the size of the text, you can't change the warmth of the screen, you're stuck with a cool tone backlight. It's a good thing that it has a backlight because, of course, in low light conditions, you won't be able to see much. And honestly, if you use the backlight too much, you'll probably drain the battery a lot faster. Speaking of battery, it says that it gets up to 30 hours, which I'm going to tell you right now, that's a lie. I can get a few hours if I'm constantly playing. It depends if I'm using Bluetooth, the backlight, you know, the usual. But 30 hours? I don't think so, especially for using the radio function or anything that's going to drain the battery a bit more. I wouldn't say the battery is bad by any means, but it's definitely not the best battery. But what can you expect? This is a $30 device, so you get what you get. It does have a multitude of different functions besides playing music, of course. You have the radio function, you even have a calculator, a calendar, a record voice option, and ebooks. I was curious to see how it would be to read on this device. I have a lot of doubts, of course, because it's a 2.7-inch display, probably the smallest display I've ever tried to read on. I already have difficulty seeing the menus per se, since I can't make the text a bit larger, but I wanted to test out the e-reading capability just in case anybody was interested. Now, first of all, you'll have to find the format, and it does not accept the general format such as EPUB. I had to put it in a regular text file, and then I was able to read it on the device. But as you can see here, it is very, very small. You can't increase the font size, you can't customize how you turn the pages, you basically have to swipe up in order to read. I would say this device would be perfect to read on if you have better than 20/20 vision and don't mind staring at a microscopic screen for a long period of time. This is just not a readable device for me. Even in a pinch, I would not use this device to read on. But with that being said, honestly, it is a fantastic MP3 player. I haven't had any issues, and it just works, and that's all I ask for. Yes, I do have an SD card that I swap between devices, usually in a phone, but sometimes I like to go out of my house without my phone and just listen to some music, and this device fits that need. Since I went through a period of digital minimalism and I had kind of separated my devices into different use cases in my life, most of those devices kind of were inconvenient to carry around, such as a camera or carrying a notebook and things like that. But honestly, having a music player separate from my phone is something that I always like to have, especially when walking and taking transport, and it's just easier for me to disconnect from my phone by having a separate device. Is this the best device I've ever used? No. Is it the worst? Honestly, no. Maybe for reading. But in that case, I think it's an interesting device, and it's something I haven't seen many people review. Again, this is a no-brand dropship device, so it will probably appear as many brand names on the internet. I am not sponsored by this device. I'm not promoting this device, but this video is for people who may be interested in something a bit more unique and out of the norm when looking for an MP3 player. Thank you so much to the members supporting this channel. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. And thank all of you for watching, and see you soon.